Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Sue from createwithsue.com, and today we're going to be looking at stabilizers. Now there's different types of stabilizers, so I'm not going to look at the stabilizers for cutting your fabric. I have got a video on stabilizers for cutting fabric. Go and check that one out. This video is on stabilizing your project to applique. So stabilizers for your fabric to cut. I like something like this one. This is the Brother Iron-On Applique Stabilizer. This one here, which is like a heat and bond type one, comes with a paper backing, and it's kind of a web type scenario. You iron those ones on the material to cut them out for applique, and then you can press it to stick to your fabric. We'll cover that more as we go through this series. It produces a shiny, I don't know if you can see that, but a shiny film on the back that when you press it onto your fabric, it holds the material. You can see one side's not shiny, the other side is. Holds your material in place while you sew it. What we're going to look at is the stabilizers to hoop your fabric. Now, up front, I am not an expert on stabilizer, let me tell you. I have tried many though, so lots and lots. Some I haven't got any left to show you, but some I've got more to show you, so we'll have a look what I've got in my range still. So I'll just take these ones out the way. These are more for keeping your fabric in place on the stabilizer once you've hooped it. It's like a quilting spray, basting spray, it's temporary spray adhesive. And glue. We'll look at those later. What I am going to look at is these types of fabric. What we are going to look at is these types of stabilizer. So you can get paper type ones. This is a soft tearaway type one. It's got like a papery feel to it. It tears. How can I tear it? Here we go. It just tears like a bit of paper. And it sews not too bad. I've used it. Just get this design here. So I've recently used this one. Put that back there for a minute. To go on the back of that one there. So all you do is you tear it away once you've stitched. This is the back of the design. Once you've stitched your fabric and applique, put your applique on there, and it just peels off. So this will peel off from the center of this design too. I use the Tearaway a lot for towels. I'm not a big fan of having stabilizer left on materials at the back. If you can see the back, I don't like it. So, but this one I thought I'd give it a go for this type of project. This one, it's soft. I actually have, I have this one here which is very stiff. You can see it's quite a bit stiffer than this one. This one's soft. It's also a really big roll. Nothing like buying it in bulk, hey. I use that one a lot when I do towels and on my 2x300 hoop. So I go through a fair bit of it at the time. Sometimes I'm a bit economical with it and I can use it twice if I'm lucky, depending on where the design sits. So that is one option, but it's not a great option for everything. So already for this one, I'm going to test it for this, but unless you peel that off, at some point when you're washing this, it's going to go yucky if you don't get most of it off. And if your material is thinner, like this one here is quite a thin material, it's not the way to go, probably. This one's a little bit thicker, might be okay. So it depends what your project's going to be doing. So if you're washing it a lot, for example, you might want to tear it all off so you haven't got it on there. And if the material is strong enough to hold your embroidery without the stabilizer, then you would use that type. The next type you can use is a cutaway. So you can get iron-on cutaway. So this one's ironed on. You can just see I'm sort of pulling it off the fabric a little bit, but it just presses on. It's got a very faint light glue on the back that you can press on. I think I put it on this one too. Yep, I've put it on this one as well. So it's on the fabric, and you can just peel it off and cut it away just the same. Or you can get like this one here, which has no, this is still the Tearaway. Hang on, picked up the wrong one. Let's wash away. It'll be this one over here maybe. Here we go, Cutaway. I put the little labels in them so I'd keep track of them. This one here is quite a bit thicker, so you can get different thicknesses in stabilizer. This is something that needs a lot of stabilizing. You'd use this one. I rather like this lightweight one. It's quite light and thin. It just does the job for most things. But you might use this one. This one actually tells you what it's for. It's for fabric, especially stretchy fabric, washable fabrics. So when you wash them, stays in. But it comes in. Often you can get them in black as well. So if you've got something black, you can have black instead of when you cut it away. You see it's not quite so ugly on the inside. A bit harder to get in black. Discovered. Could be readily available wherever you are. Not so much here. Anyway, that's a cutaway. You've got a couple of options in the cutaway. This is a good option if you need firmness after you've appliqued or embroidered your project. It will keep that project stable longer. This is perhaps why I like the iron-on one, because it's really adhered to the fabric and it's not going anywhere, unless you peel it off, of course, like I've just been doing. then it goes. It will lift off. You could peel all this off and cut right around it and just leave it. Just cut right around it and leave it on the material just where your applique design is, which is often what people do. Depends what your project is and what you're sewing it onto. Then once again, just put them down here for a minute. Once again, depending on what you are, your project is going onto, what type of material. For towels and things like that, you need a wash away on top. So this one is a wash away. It's a thin, can't really see through, sort of a dusky plastic one. This goes on top. There is also this style here, which is a wash away, and it is not see-through. And you would hoop this. Can hoop, not so much this one. I have got lots. I've got this one. I hoop this one. You can see through it still. It feels like plastic. But when you finish your embroidery or applique, you can just wash this away. I use this one for freestanding lace. This is my favourite for that. So, but you can use that one. I've got too many in my hands now. Just let me put that one down. And I get this really big roll out. You can see sometimes I buy in big rolls. That is the same as this one. Pretty much the same. It's a cheaper brand, potentially. I don't think it had a name. Can't remember. Bought lots of it. I put this one on top of my towels. You could hoop it to do designs that you don't want any stabilizer there, but this is not the one I would recommend. This is great for on top. This sort of thin, plasticky wash away is great for on top, not so much to hoop. That super strong one's fine to hoop. So this type here, and I've got another roll of it. This one's a cheaper brand again. They come They feel a bit like, I don't know if they feel like material. That's what it feels like. It feels like material that washes away. 1 or 2 layers in your hoop will do the trick. So that's that style. You can use this to float. So if you need to float your design, what's floating? Floating is when you've got a design that's a bit big or a bit small to hoop. So the actual material does not hoop, but you need to stabilize that material on something so that you can sew it. That's floating. So you could use the basting sprays for that. The basting spray like the 505, something similar to that. Or you could use the iron-on if it was something that you could iron on. So like applique, it doesn't matter, you iron it on and it stays there, it just gives it a bit more strength. If you don't want so if you were doing a something that you didn't want the stabilizer to stay on, most applique it doesn't matter, but just say you're embroidering something you don't want the stabilizer to show, then you wouldn't iron something onto your material. That's where I'm going with that. So this one's a good option for lots of projects. And I have more. Where have I got more? I've got these ones over here. So this one here has nothing on it. It's a bit thinner than that one. This is a cutaway, doesn't tear. It's a cutaway, doesn't tear. It's I've bought it off the roll, obviously in a sewing store. Not really a tearaway, so that is another option. Don't have to buy an expensive way of doing a lot of this. I've got stabilizers stashed everywhere. Ah dear. Okay, so you would apply your stabilizer to the amount of fabric you need. So usually it's just enough for the hoop. My hoop is just enough to go in your hoop, so you've got enough to clamp it, especially if you're cutting it away or washing it away. You would only need just enough for your hoop. Even that when I sit on top, the top layer, sometimes I don't cut it even to fit on my hoop. I sit it on top of my design and I use a basting stitch to baste it on, and then it holds it in place and I'm good to go. The topper type stabilizer is great so that you don't lose your stitches and your design into the pile. When you're stitching something like terry toweling or similar, anything fluffy, if you're doing Sherpa or just toweling, you sometimes lose your stitches into the fabric, and that helps stop that. So it removes that. Ask me questions below. I'm not sure what else to tell you on this part of the stabilizer. As I said, I'm not a stabilizer expert. There is lots out there, and you need to choose the right one for your project. Usually there's some sort of guide that helps you out with what stabilizer suits the material you're using. Different materials, different stabilizers. All right, I'll catch you in the next video.